This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, good afternoon. Calling to order the meeting of the Ad Hoc Grant Search Committee for May 2nd, 22 at around 2:54 in the afternoon. We have all of our grant committee members present, Diana, Kate, Ed, and myself, Chris. And we have Mark and Ellen here from the Greenway Committee. So thanks everybody for getting together. Sorry about the couple confusions of dates that I had. That was my bad on a couple things that I was not getting very clear. So we have a couple of things. I don't see any people out there, so no open time for the public in terms of people hanging around waiting for us. We do have a couple of minutes that we could take a look at, or we can jump right into this new possibility of the second round of, or a new round, I guess, of Mass Trails 22. As you know, we got word that there is a spring application process, which is fairly unusual from what I understand for Mass Trails 22. So we were told that we were eligible to still apply for that. So I think that would be the focus of our discussion today. So at this point in time, would you like to take a look at some minutes real quick to approve, or what would you rather do?
What if we did the Mass Trails first, and then after, then Ellen and Mark don't have to hang around?
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I think Ellen and Mark, you had already put some information in the Google Drive, Google Docs, and I'm going to see if I can share. I took it out of here. Let me see if I can find it to share it now. Of course.
I pulled out the budget timeline and the last grant and labeled them 5.
Right.
5-1.
Yeah, I saw them somewhere there.
Thank you for doing that.
And I made some initial changes. I don't think there are too many changes we need to make, actually.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty much straightforward. The one thing, this one was the one that you had labeled 5-1. So I just marked it here. We just have to change the the date on this cover right here.
Do you want me to change it?
Well, I can do that. I just wanted to let you know that I was going to, we'll just make it the May 1st, May 2nd, whatever day. Yeah, try that again. May 2. Oh, good Lord, Chris. Hello. Whoa. Itchy fingers here today. What's going on? Whoa, hang on here. Boy. Try that again. Okay, we got it. Okay, so this is basically the same application. I think we all probably know it pretty much by heart.
Intimately.
Yeah, so most of this is just the same. So Mark, you had gone through and put a few things in yellow, and I think that's where we just really need to concentrate here.
I think so.
Yep, so an extension of our original Mass Trails. We'll make it Mass Trails.
Thank you.
22 grant to increase the total grant funding to $500,000, since the initial grant request would not allow us to finish the Greenway planning, design, engineering, and permitting process. I think that looks fine to me. I don't see why not. Why would that?
I just wonder if we should give some reason why it's not enough,
Well, we had said
it isn't enough.
We
want more.
We want more. No, I think what we can. I think it might have been mentioned elsewhere, but that is true. We had been advised, right? Have been advised that at least, what was it, 20% of the
15 to 25.
Okay, the 25%.
Well, 15 to 25% are the ranges we were given.
15 to 25.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2.5%.
15 to 25% of the tip amount is what we should plan for, right? Therefore, we estimate, well, we should say the 625, because that would be our rough total, right? Is that, what does it come out math wise?
Actually, it's higher than that, because it's just slightly over 6 million is the tip amount. So it would be closer to 900,000, although Dan gave estimates 800,000. We've gotten other estimates of 600 to a million.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would probably just say, the engineers have estimated that the required design and engineering and permitting fees will be between, 625 and 850,000,
Yeah,
and leave it at that.
yeah, I think that justifies it.
And that was from Ty and Bond.
Dan, it worked for Ty and Bond, and we've gotten, the ranges were given from actually PVPC and Westfield and East Hampton Planning and Engineering. So the ranges were given by 3 sources. Dan sort of came up with a 800 ballpark. And Dan is one of the vice presidents for Ty and Bond and is on the Greenway Committee.
So ranges from 625,000 or 600,000, 625
625.
to 850 or something, to 900.
Say 850.
Okay. Therefore, we won't look too greedy. Okay. How's that? Did I make mistakes there? So we have been advised by, maybe I should say, a local engineering firm.
I think they probably understand this process, and
Yeah.
I think it's probably okay to leave it personally, but
By a local engineering firm, that the estimated
Okay.
range we should expect based on other rail trail projects, comma, Diana, yes, ranges from 625 to 850,000.
There you go.
We should expect, we would need, not we should expect, right?
The estimated
The
range.
design phase would require.
That the estimated range for this phase, how about that? Would, okay, for this phase. get
I
rid of
don't
all
think you
this-
want range twice in the sentence.
Yeah. The estimated cost.
Yeah.
For this phase, based on other rail trail projects, ranges from 625 to 850. How's that?
Well, then why don't you say that the estimated range? Why don't you just say that the local engineering firm estimates? Or, I don't know, estimated cost, never mind. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Local engineering firm that the estimated cost for this phase, based on other rail
Right.
trail projects, ranges from 625 to 850.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is
Yep.
that right? It's a little lengthy,
Yep.
but I gotcha. All right, so here,
that can be changed to 225. If we're
Okay.
gonna go with
Yeah.
that.
okay, sounds like a good number. And there's no. And then 200 is still gonna be what we're asking for. So that's fine. And then we're gonna say $25,000 from a combination of in-kind and free cash, Ed?
Or I would say, yeah, in kind, yeah.
And
And
just
the-
town funding.
And possibly free cash. Or you could
Okay.
just say available funds. Boom. And leave it at that.
Available town funds or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Is this a place we want to talk about the fact that the total that we already set aside $100,000 for the other piece? So the total, it sounds like this would be a good place to explain why we think 25%, although it's not
sure, we can.
20% of this.
So we could say, note that. that 100,000 match from CPC funds was already committed to our earlier, right? $300,000 request for this project. How's that?
Do we want to say Mass Trails request or
Our
300,000 Mass
300
Trail?
request to Mass Trails.
Yep.
Okay, how's that?
And do we want to add at the end of that, just saying, if we receive $500,000 of state funding, then the $125,000 is a 20% match?
No, they'll see it on the budget line. I don't think we need it here. When we put in
That's
the
fine.
budget sheet, yeah, we can make a footnote in the budget sheet too.
Okay, just clarifying. Yep.
Yeah.
So this might need a little grammatical correction.
Mm-hmm.
Note that $100,000 match from CPC funds was already committed to our earlier.
Oh.
It just sounds weird.
With
In
in
our,
our, yeah.
Yeah, okay, in our earlier 300,000 request to Mass Trails for this project. Yeah,
Okay.
okay, that's better.
okay. Yeah, most of this was all the same stuff. Nothing's changed. And then down here. Okay, so Town of Southampton and the Pioneer Valley Railroad has signed the paperwork for the town to acquire the rail corridor. And we're awaiting final procedures between the federal government and the PVRR. We expect this should be completed before June, or maybe by end June. What do you prefer, Ed? So we don't stretch it too much? By end June?
Yeah, I would just say by the end of June, 2022.
Rather than saying before, because then they're gonna think that maybe it's coming in like.
How about before June 30th?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, whoops.
What happened there? By end June, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if they have the other application, just adding the 30th and not making that many, the other
Yeah.
changes will be less noticeable.
You want to put in the
Everything in-
30th?
Okay, no, that's fine. I
No,
mean,
what's less noticeable? I didn't get you. You
we
want to put in the
expect it
30th?
should be-
By
Yeah, if you
June
just
30th?
leave out end and just write June 30,
Okay.
comma, 2022.
Okay.
That's,
No problem.
okay.
And so this time too, in terms of we'll get to the attachments, but we can put in the double signed one here like we did for the raise grant, because they wouldn't have had the double signed one when we did our first application.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, then down here. Okay. Both the town's attorney and the railroads.
And this is incorrect, so it's actually the town and the railroad.
Oh, yeah, both the town and the railroad, right? I knew something was wrong there. Both the town and the railroad have signed the purchase agreement. PVRR attorneys are currently finalizing the rail banking agreement with the federal government. That all sound true, Ed?
Yes,
All right.
You know, you just mentioned raise grant. I will say that it says the source of match can vary, but it could include cash or other state or federal grants. So I wonder if that could also be part of the match.
Yeah, we just don't know when we might get the rate. I mean, maybe, but I don't want to.
The
That
Right, of
raise-
course. I'm just putting
Yeah,
it on the universe that we're gonna get the raise grant.
yeah, no, that's fine. That's a good idea. I know you're
So-
always my positive person. That's fine.
The raise grant's supposed to be, notification will come in after the state gives their
Yeah.
notification.
So, but anyway,
This is
but yes,
nitpicking, but previously you had federal government uppercase, now you've got federal uppercase, government lowercase.
okay,
It's really not a proper noun, so at any rate, we need to be consistent.
okay. Where did I have it up? In the other one right up above here somewhere?
Yeah,
So it should be just basic, no,
I
no,
think it should just be both lowercase.
okay, no problem. Got it. I agree with you. Need to be sure we're consistent here. There we go. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Okay, nothing else was going on here, I think. Then this was our narrative, all the stuff that we had talked about. I mean, there's really been no major change to put in here that I can see. I mean, the census, I think the one thing here, we probably had used the town census, and since then we've probably gotten the federal census, right? So I'm not sure, but it's not worth changing.
This was based on federal census data.
This was the federal one? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we had more than 1,200 over 65. That doesn't sound right to me, but okay. I thought we were closer to 2,000. That's what we've been saying.
Wow,
I mean, a third of our population is seniors. That's what we keep saying.
that's a big difference.
My, and we can look up again, but my memory is that was federal data. I can.
Okay. Yep, I gotta, hold on a second. I'll call you back. Okay. So, okay, let's just do a little double check on that one. I'm just gonna highlight it for myself because
That's a good idea.
I don't know if we should, there's one thing about, not being consistent, but we could change that if we don't have the right census. But if we do, that's fine. I just thought it was more, that's fine. Because that one, this goes back to like our first grant probably that we would have copied when we did the acquisition. So that goes way back. And so just to be sure which one we're using, that's fine. And then down here, I just was suggesting that we could change this to the RFQ for selecting the engineering firm. And I was going to say here, which I can't see now that I've got this, has been issued and evaluation of proposals is underway. So that was for what I was suggesting was to actually call it an engineering firm at this point. RFQ for selecting the engineering firm has been issued and evaluation of proposals is underway or something like that.
I think that sounds good.
Is that okay?
Mhm.
They have come in. I started working on the scoring this weekend. It's a little challenging, but it's a lot to read. Some of these companies are
Like that.
very voluminous. Has been issued and responses, what responses are being or something. Responses are.
Evaluation of proposals is underway.
Thank you. Yeah, right there.
Chris?
Yep.
The census, US Census data, had 22% of the 6224, which is 1370 is the elderly over 65.
1370.
Yeah, approximately. It doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the
US Census data, 2021.
it'll be 2020, no? Does it come out here?
They give two different dates. It's the 2020, correct, April 1st, 2020.
Okay. Is that okay, everybody? Yeah.
Yep.
I want a comma at 1,000.
Yep. Okay. Good. Okay. And let's see. So, okay. An evaluation of proposals, evaluation of proposals is underway.
Now a comma at the end of it.
Yep. It was.
Good eyes.
Okay. And
There's
our,
still a little piece of highlight in there, I think, or maybe my eyes are just going
no,
bonkers.
you're right. I see it.
Or both.
Yeah, I think.
There we go. Okay, we got it. Alrighty. So again, there were no other changes here. Okay, yeah, so this is what I was, this all got highlighted, but what I was doing was this. So if this grant is awarded, the town, so this is the sentence we needed to change. So if this grant is awarded, the town will use, what did we
Do
say?
we have to state it again? Does that question specifically request information about matching? Because I feel like we did say it above.
I know, but
Sorry, I just can't see what the actual question says.
yeah.
It says community support.
Oh,
Describe community support for this project, and depends on the way they consider money support.
so could we just leave it as the CPA funding with the match?
Well, do you want to take out the 270 up there and the 170 and the 100, or you want to leave that in there? We've got 100,000 available for design costs already. We're telling them that.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like that is evidence of community support, but I don't know.
That is
if the
right there.
last sentence is relevant to this question.
Well, we've put it in there before. I don't know if we want to kill it at this point.
If the town is willing to use other town funding, that's still support, right?
Yeah. Maybe I could take out for the mat other funding. The town will use other funding for the match, for the town match. For the remaining $25,000 match or something. I mean, I don't know, without looking at the question again, Kate, I wasn't hoping to have to revise it too much here. So public involved in the selection planning, votes are required. The votes were there for the first one, that's for sure. I mean, you'd almost end up taking out the whole thing about CPC in this particular one.
I personally would leave it, but that's a judgment call.
Yeah. Maybe just to say for the remaining.
For the remaining match, the town will.
The town will use other funding for the remaining match or something like that. How about that?
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get back here. Okay, fine. Okay, you're resolved here somewhere, wherever you are. Okay, just be. All the pictures are hiding me here. I can't find my resolve button. Here we go. Hold on. Is it revolved? It's not getting rid of it. Okay, it won't do it. What's going on? There we go.
You want me to try?
Just trying to edit. I don't need to edit it, but if it does.
Did you want me to hit resolve?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. If you can hit it, yeah, go ahead. I can't get at it. There we go. Thank you.
Okay, I did. Okay.
All the things were hiding in there for some reason. Okay. Alrighty.
You actually need a comma after that. If this grant is awarded, comma.
Okay.
It's because there's some ambiguity and it's an adverbial clause.
Sounds good. Yep. Okay. No other yellow parts. I think this is all describing it again. Now here we've done, oh, this is for the other CPA funding for Conant Park. Okay, that's a different thing. Okay. Now, did we say CPA or CPC? We should be consistent there too. Act or
Committee.
committee. Where was that? Nope. Where's the support? Oh yeah,
7.
3-7.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Here we are. Okay, we did say CPA. Okay, as long as we've said the same thing. Community Preservation Act funding. Okay. Okay. Then we're down to now. So this is where I was a little confused, and I think it may have been answered later. I know you guys have written out the letters already to endangered species and historical.
I'm going to suggest just deleting this.
Okay, perfect. I think so too, because it wasn't really required at that point in time the last time, I think.
Yep.
So, all right, let's go away. Okay, and then, but I thought, wasn't I right that Aaron got some questions back from somebody?
Yeah, he sent them to me and I've drafted, but I haven't sent we've spoken to endangered species, Ellen and I, and that was not a written request, but there's a written request to Mass Historical, and I've drafted it, but I'm waiting I have to get some stuff from the town census maps.
So what are they asking for? Because before they didn't even ask us any questions when we were going for the acquisition. So what are they looking for now?
Actually, it's fairly extensive. I sent a memo around earlier to you and to Ed at least, saying, do I need to do this? There's a notification form. They require a GIS map, and they require a town parcel map with all the abutters.
I think, Ed, you had done the abutter map, had you not? Or you'd given the list of abutters. I remember you talking about that. Ed, did I lose you? Oh, Ed. If
You
you're
gotta
back.
unmute yourself, Ed.
Again, I don't think it affects this grant.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I think just leaving it out is fine.
Maybe they were looking for a map rather than a list.
Yeah, I think they're looking for the map, the parcels.
So this is not required for the design phase, but will be required for the actual like implementation phase.
Work ongoing communication with the state.
yeah. So I don't think it, at this point in time though, so this part about has spoken to David Paulson. He's the endangered species one.
They asked for what communications. Yeah, that was an update from the last meeting. So Ellen and I spoke with, that was an update from the original information. The stuff that in the bright yellow was new information.
Okay, so he was the person that had reached out and asked questions and sent you all these forms.
Well, no, that was the Mass Historical one in forms. The endangered species only wanted to talk with us to make sure we were on the right. And we spoke with him and he said, you're doing the right things.
Okay. So it's historical that wants all the craziness. Wow, that's
Yeah.
strange.
Mhm.
So do you think you can go ahead and get rid of my resolved comment over there? This was more just.
Okay. So I
But,
think,
yeah,
I think I would leave this part in there because it is specific information about communication that's happened.
okay. So this is,
They basically just said, all you have to do at this point is give us the heads up and let me know that it's happening. And we
Right.
will be much more involved in the process when the phase, in the middle of the phase,
mhm.
when you're working with the engineering company and during the construction. of the
Right. I
phase.
mean, I think this is something that the engineering firm would normally deal with. This is nothing that you guys would be dealing with.
That's right.
From the Greenway perspective. And I think
That's
we were a little bit ahead of the game asking for these letters for this phase, just because we knew we'd need them at some point and we went ahead and did them. But
Mhm.
maybe it opened a little can of worms.
No,
No, it's
I mean, in
fine.
this particular case, I think it actually was better.
Mhm.
He said, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. This is
Okay.
how we like things to happen. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so what do you think we need to do with the historical one then?
I think I need to finish submission of the paperwork, but we don't need to mention it in this grant.
Okay, all right. Okay. So if you need maps, then you'd get them from the assessor's office?
Yeah, that's what I need, and I plan to do that. Yeah.
Okay, and maybe, you can check with Ed. I mean, Ed had given them a list of abutters already. So I'm not sure what they,
Yeah, I'll ask them when I go in.
Yeah.
They've been very good in the past about getting
Yeah.
stuff.
and Ed, had you actually sent those, or did you send those just to Aaron, or did they go to the state already, or?
I'll have to check. Maybe I just sent them to Aaron.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that was, I think, all the questions that were in there.
So
Oh, one more here, sorry. I don't know what this comment was in there from before, but we had already judged the MOU from before. So I think this was just a comment to ourselves. We have the agreement, the MOU that they're gonna sell it to us. We're way past that now. But that served as the landowner permission because our legal people had told us that. So I'm just gonna delete that. I don't think we need that comment here. This was just our own information anyway. There's nothing that we
well,
put in the
no, Amanda requested that to meet the needs of a letter of. So we should either update what was there before or resubmit the original one.
Yeah, well, we sent the letter of intent to acquire the rail trail. I mean, she's got
Yes.
it from the acquisition part, she's got it in the first grant.
Okay.
She's got it twice now, but if she wants it a third time, we can add it.
We may want to include it. Yeah.
So that was gonna be my question, I guess, is if we think that these are really being looked at as one. Okay, and my comment was, back to you guys, I wasn't planning on asking for any more letters of support. I mean, I think, we've bugged these people enough. We've got good letters from the first application. If they're really gonna look at these together, I don't think we need to go back and ask Velis and everybody else for yet another letter myself, but I'm willing to be talked out of that.
Well, I would resubmit the ones that we submitted before,
Okay, we'll do
rather than
that.
ask for new ones.
Okay, there we go. All right, okay,
Fine.
I'll do that. So you
I
can
think that's
erase-
better than leaving it blank.
Okay, you can
It
erase my
saves them the
comment.
job of trying to look for 'em.
I'll resolve it.
Yep, just resolve the comment and I'll do that. Good thinking. Good point. I guess we can just use the old one. So that was gonna be my question of what all do we want to attach? We're going to attach all this stuff again. So we got the structural study, now we've got the RFP. So this will be final, the on-call RFP. So
Do you want to ask Mass Trails if they want all those studies again, or?
I think they actually listed as a requirement.
yeah,
Oh,
Actually, I shouldn't say that. The landowner agreement's a requirement.
Hmm.
The other ones are not, but I would submit them to be.
yeah, it could be different people who look at it, I guess.
yeah. So Ed, I know before you didn't want to put out the link for the RFP. So should we just forget that now here?
What's that?
On the RFP the RFQ rather, that we sent out.
Yeah.
You didn't want to have the link there because you didn't want other than engineering firms responding to it, but now that it's over, is there a Word document of the RFQ that we could attach?
Yeah, I can actually send you the PDF of it.
Okay, that'd be great. Okay, then we'll attach that. That's new. Okay, so that's basically where we are with that.
Are we going to include the same letters of support? Sorry.
Yes, we'll use the ones that we had before, which were Velis and Sabadosa and
Neil.
Bellapina and
Richie Neal.
no, the other guy from East Hampton. These were
Oh,
Richie Neal
Yeah,
were, Ray's,
okay.
the town
It's-
planner maybe from East
Yep,
Hampton.
Jeff,
Filipina.
Yeah, there were letters from the first one. So we'll just say we're going to include the same 4 letters that we had, I think, that we used on the first application. Okay. Just for our notes, but yes, that makes sense to attach those. So I'll stop sharing that. Okay. And then, Mark, if you just want to pull up the budget, can you do that?
Actually, I'm not sure if I know how to do it
Okay,
for the
hang
whole
on.
group, because I'm working, yeah, I
Yeah,
can't do
okay.
that, because,
Let me see if I can get in here first of all, and I can probably try to do that. She says, then again. Then again, hold on a minute. Share, and then, oh gosh. Little bitty. Okay, everybody got that?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna,
just for clarification, there's two parts of this. One was the timeline, which I didn't think we needed to change. I only changed the budget part.
yeah. Yes, why is this so big? I'm gonna try and make it a little smaller here. Just too big for me. Well, anyway, yeah, the budget's in the first tab here. And the timeline's there, okay. So we're gonna swap this to 25, yeah?
Well, I think we should leave it at 50, but do a thing down below saying that 25 will be from town in kind and new town funding, and 25 is from the other CPA
from the other
funds
grant?
that were, yep. But I think we should leave the 50 up above, but do an asterisk or something and explain it.
All right, well, let me get rid of this otherness here, because this is, okay, so. So 25,000 match. From earlier CPA funds, right?
Listed in prior grant application,
Prior application.
from prior application.
Mhm.
Take out the word match here, then there we go. Okay. So we had town approved funds, CPA funds, we'll put CPC here, CPA. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay?
And then you need a little asterisk next to 50,000, I think, right?
Probably. Good. Come on here. Come on. Sure, pick something else there. Doesn't like that.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that they formatted it, so you can't do that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
change it. That's good. They'll figure it out.
Or you can do an asterisk in the box below it.
Or above it, the total proposed with it, and put an asterisk there.
Try.
Yep.
Nope. Well, they're not going to see it.
You put it before it.
Mhm. Yeah, good idea.
Oh, goodness gracious, you guys are so demanding here. I don't know.
Please.
But it's not another raise grant.
Oh, dear. All righty, let's try that one. Yellow.
That looks so good.
Magic. All right, now I got to get rid of the yellow. If that will let me do that, another story. This has got some other weird thing. I don't want to fill anything up. It's not reset.
Do you want me to get rid of it? Okay.
Yeah, sure. We can do that later, whatever. So we're going to assume town approved. CPA, town and approved CPA funds. How's that? Maybe we add a word here.
Yeah, that's smart, right? Because if we use the something else.
I mean, if we use the free cash, like Ed was saying, maybe if we decided to use ARPA funds, I mean, they're technically ours, Ed, right? I mean, they've been given to us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, close enough, I think. Okay, so then the timeline, that was all we had to say. Oops, wait a minute. I saw a budget thing. Hold on. Up top here. Where'd you come from? Let me put this down here.
Get rid of that.
I see.
Okay, just have the date there anyway. And then timeline. I don't know that anything really changes here. So we've actually got, they're reviewing the RFQs. I mean, we still probably would be issuing them in June. So maybe this one could come down to June.
Right.
So maybe however you made that shading, I'll let you make that one, Mark.
Okay, for some reason it's having troubles letting me get in there.
Well, we can do it afterwards. That's fine.
Yeah.
So on number 7, you could make that June rather than July because we're looking at them right now. So I think we'd probably want to do the, wouldn't you say, Ed, we want to do the well, can we contract before we get the money though? Maybe we can't. No. Okay, never mind. Leave it alone. You're right. Until we have the money, we shouldn't contract. Yep. Till we have money in hand. So that's okay then. We were right the first time. Okay. Notice a grant award in July, probably. So yeah, this, I think this all still is basically the same from what I can see here. Because that all went on and it went on down to final report. So what year was that talking about now? What is that P column?
October.
June of 23. So it's going for 1 year right now. Right?
Yeah, actually,
Or not? Right?
yes, that's what they say in their
Yep.
proposal.
Yeah. So just as, generally, I think that's okay. I mean, we're on their time schedule, not ours, unfortunately. Okay, I don't think I see anything else there. So I'm thinking that's pretty much it. What do you guys think?
Good work.
Well,
Great work.
with a little bit of luck. And so this one is due, I believe, on the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. And so we're already the first. Just give myself some time frames here. So the 16th is a Monday. Okay. Well, if it's basically the same template, which I believe it is, shouldn't take that much to get done. I will get working on that probably at the end of this week. How's that?
Do you need a hand with any of that piece?
This should be okay. Unlike the other
Okay.
one. This one should be okay. But thanks for that. No, as long as we're agreed that I'll basically attach basically the same attachments with the exception of the double signed MOU with the railroad. We'll use the old letters, the old studies, and the
Old maps
old maps
and
old
photos.
photos, letters of support, whatever else we were able to add. This one was a little bit limited in terms of the number of attachments you could have, if I remember. But I think it's okay. So we'll do what we can, but I think that makes the most sense to me at the moment. So if we're in agreement with that, I think that's good. Let's see if we can get through some of these things and then take a look. Ed, I think you'd gotten I think from Mark too, he had gotten some other information about supplemental money from the state in terms of infrastructure things and so forth. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Those are actually federal
Or
federal
right,
funds.
Federal, right,
But
sorry.
the other thing Ed wasn't on for is, Ellen and I listened to a Zoom presentation on funding for the Safe Streets for All. And it doesn't apply to this, but just there's a grant cycle that's going to be coming up that the town can decide if it's useful for anything else.
Yep. Do you know what the beginning of that is? Do you have that handy at all?
They haven't put out the note,
Yeah.
for whatever it is, but
Okay.
it will be soon.
Yeah, I know we've
I
got
can forward
another,
what I,
yeah, if you see it before I do, we've got another, we did the shared streets and spaces, which is for the cemetery sidewalk. That's what we use for
Okay.
that, but this could be
So
a
this-
slightly different one.
yeah, this is called Safe Streets.
Yep.
So it may be slightly different, but I'll forward it to you
Yep.
folks and
That's okay, because Ian has another project right up on Pomeroy Meadow.
okay.
Right, Ed, I think he's looking at that one to try and put a crosswalk in somewhere.
Yeah, we also got the one down on Line Street too.
Right, so there's a couple things that we've got to take a look at for some safe street stuff, so. that
So
may be
this
coming.
actually looks like they needed a comprehensive plan in place before they do the next phase, and just so you can, and they'll fund actually a comprehensive plan but you can look at that.
Yeah.
And I'll
okay.
forward it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of these, like the shared streets spaces one that we did the cemetery with. It was quick and easy. I mean, we turned that around in like, what, 10 days, guys? I don't know. I mean, they provided the technical assistance and did it. I mean, it would be wonderful to find another one of those type things, but
That's
not right
great.
away, maybe. Yeah, so that one's good. All right, and then I think the only other thing, just for the rest of the committee, we have, I will just pull up and you guys were involved in the meeting, so feel free to just stay on and just see that we have done minutes of the meetings. So 322, I bring these up. This was our first talk. We were first starting to talk about the MVP grant. So thanks, Kate, for getting these to me. I did a couple little edits here and there, but basically we have everything. I think we're still missing one video on the website, which I'll get back to East Hampton Media on. I thought they were caught up, but I don't think the April meeting is on there. So we talked mostly about the MVP grant and what we were, just talking around ideas about what we could do to try and come up with ideas for a likely project on that, and looked at all the high priority projects, if you remember from the MVP planning itself. We were kind of leaning toward that field inventory of culverts and looking at a couple of bridge ideas that flood all the time over on Gilbert and Riverdale. And Ian had talked about looking at a little bit more about moving the antenna, the repeater up on Mount Tom for the police radio. And then Kate had brought up just the fact that there's a whole lot of things out there for solar grants, and threw out the idea of a solar charging station, but we didn't really go into any detail on that, just to know that there's a lot of money out there for solar. And that was basically it. And then we had Raise. We started, this was where we were first starting to talk about Raise. So this is where Ed was still in the process of registering on grants.gov. We noted it would be tight to try and apply. But Ed was going to download a Word version, which he did, to see what was involved with that. So this was our March meeting.
And you said Ty and Bond, I'm just writing minutes. So Ty and Bond is actively working on the MVP.
On the MVP one, right? Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep. And yeah. So yes, I'll fill you in right on that in a second. So, and then this is where we were looking to get Gallagher. It was already ready to start at the end of March. He was ready to start on the sidewalk by the cemetery.
And it's already done.
Pretty much, I think. I don't know. Is there more seating to be done, Ed? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's some punch list stuff that still needs to be done with that.
Yeah, I think there's probably some grass seating at least, and whatever else. But I know some people were concerned about that little bit near the tree that kind of goes out very close to the road. So I'm not sure. They put up a little bit of a barrier there, but I'm not sure how great it is. And then this was the other set of minutes from April.
Walk up to me and just be like,
Sorry, I was trying to
4th.
figure out the MVP.
And so this was April 4th. So the last ones I think were March 22, and this is April 4th. And this is where Mark and Ellen had gone through all the NOFO and really taken a look at the application itself and filled in all the tons of information. from the, for the application.
No, he's not. He's,
Sorry, Dan. Yep. And then we kind of gone through the fact that this one needed to have a table of contents, and you'd focused on the merit criteria quite a bit. Dan, and do we have his name spelled right? Is that right? Rukakowski? Koski? Or Kowski?
That's how it was on the,
Yeah. Okay.
I stole it from the Zoom.
Okay. I didn't remember if it was a W Kowski or Koski, but anyway.
Oh, I could be wrong.
Anyway.
Hmm.
But his advice was, we were wondering whether we had to break down the budget in more detail for this grant, and he was just advising us to not give them more than what they were asking for, which turned out to be pretty good. So we were talking about requesting basically a planning grant, which is the category that the RAISE program would put us in, and requesting the $1 million, which was the minimum. Actually, I'm going to put minimum in here.
That is the correct spelling of his name.
Okay.
I was going to say that. Good.
Okay. So this was going to be to purchase consulting, expert consulting firm for planning, engineering, design, and permitting. Might be more than what we need, but maybe some of it could be used for early construction activities too. So here's where we came into our 15 to 25%. Again, was mentioned in our notes from that meeting. I had already talked to Neil's office and, yeah, I think, and Warren and Marquis to see if we would get some letters. A couple folks had to leave early because this ended up being like a 2.5 hour meeting. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, you'd already reached out to Jeffrey over at PVPC to let him know that we had applied.
I have, yeah. Mhm.
And I don't know, Ed, I think maybe we ought to just figure out who our regional DOT people are. I know you've been working with them for various other projects, but just to let them know that we've applied for this RAISE grant.
When I spoke with Jeff McCullough, he said we didn't need to do that because they'll get notified when the
Oh.
grant goes in,
Oh, okay.
if that matters.
Okay,
That was
well,
his,
that's fine then. Just so that people aren't surprised that we're asking for things here and they don't know about it, but that's fine. Okay, and then just Randall wasn't able to come, and so we were waiting to see if we could get him involved at some point on another meeting, and I was going to schedule one, which I did, and then I canceled because we had nothing more to say.
The MVP action grant is actually due the 5th.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That's like
So,
very soon.
so could we just, if you guys are okay with these minutes, or we can wait and approve them next time, but I mean, is everybody generally okay with these? We need to, I should have sent them around earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't get them out.
I'll make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Okay, that's good. Could I
I'll
have a
second.
second? All right, okay. And members of the grant committee, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, aye, Fowles aye. Yeah, okay. And I've got one more thing, since we just talked about the thing. I just wanted to show everybody what we really have been aiming for, what we've been working on here.
And I have to go upstairs, so my apologies.
Okay, no problem. And we know that Ty and Bond is working on things, and I think hopefully they will let us know if they need something from us, but sounds like it's with Randall at this point.
Well, actually, the only things left, I think, are that
The letter.
the report, which you filled in, and I'm just going to send that to them, and then the support letter and the commitment letter.
Okay, good. All right, well, that'll be great. So thanks, Ed. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right, we're about ready to
Bye.
finish, guys, but I just wanted to show you where we are for the
That's
first few
impressive.
months of the year. This is what we've been working on.
Wow,
So,
impressive.
yep. So the hazard mitigation plan update, that one is in. We don't know when these are going to come out, but we got them in. Oops, I forgot the deadline on our first mass trails. When was that?
it was the end of June or in June
No, to when we
June.
submitted it.
when we submitted.
Was it January maybe? I'll go back.
February.
I forget what the deadline was. I'll go in and fill that out. I forgot.
If I can pull it up, I probably have it in the previous minutes.
So that was the first 300,000 there. The raise one, we didn't have a cost share on the 14th. MVP action is due on the 5th at 2 o'clock. And Ty and Bond is doing all the submission. I didn't know whether we needed, if there was some narrative that we needed to review, but they haven't contacted us, and frankly, if they ask us for tomorrow, it's gonna be a little late on my schedule, so I'm gonna say we're not available to look at it personally. They're getting paid to do it, so they can put it together. I'm sure they've got more expertise. Not sure the amount, somewhere around the $150,000 to do this townwide culvert assessment. And to figure out the problem with many of our culverts. Well, first of all, an inventory. Actually, I should put in the word inventory, because we don't even know how many culverts we have in town, I don't think, let alone, whether they're all the right sizes. Many have been in for years, some are falling apart, rusted, others are the wrong dimension for the water flow that's coming through now, etc. So this would get us some clarity to be able to apply for a real repair type grant for infrastructure. So hopefully this will be somewhere around that amount of money. And then our last one that we're talking about today. So this has kind of been the last couple of months. It's been very, very focused. So we'll see what we get here. But
I'll say thank you, Mark and Ellen, for
yes,
also joining in, especially for these mass trails projects. It's really awesome.
yeah, well, and especially for
Well,
the raise
thank you.
one.
You guys have been a huge help.
Well, no, I mean, for the raise one, I had told you I wasn't going to tackle that one because it was such an onerous thing. But actually, once we got the basics done, I mean, to load the grant in itself was actually pretty easy, in spite of all that grants.gov. Now that we know how to manipulate it a little bit, but so all we've received is a message saying that it has been received back mid-April, but there's no way to know any more about it. I don't think there's any other tracking information that we'll be getting that I'm aware of, but just keep your eyes open, ears open for anything else out there. And I need to go back and take a look at what other grant deadlines are coming up. So like that Sage Street ones, whatever, we have our spreadsheet that we had used last year, and we'll have to just double check and see that we're not missing anything that might be useful for other parts of town.
If we wanted to schedule another meeting, I can try to go through that and update it before the next meeting.
Yeah, that'd be great.
A lot of heavy lifting.
Okay, well, why don't we say let's keep us on our usual Wednesday or Thursday schedule for Diana and Kate. What works better for you guys?
We can probably bow out and let them talk about.
Yeah, okay, we're just gonna finish this up. But
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been great
Thank
working
you.
with all of you. You're just a
Thank
really
you
great
very
team.
much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we could just schedule a next meeting. Why don't we schedule one, and it's easier to cancel it than put it in at the last minute. So maybe the 19th is a Thursday. How does that work?
Look at my calendar.
17th is town election. You guys have to vote for me now. Actually, you don't have to.
Yes,
17th of May is the town election?
Yeah, 17th of May.
I didn't know that.
Is the town election. Yep.
Huh.
Yep. I think it's from 12 to 7 or 12 to 8 at town hall.
Yeah.
You have my vote easily. So
Time we
either
get
day is
to
fine.
use our new precincts here. 19th is okay?
Yeah, 19th, okay.
Okay,
After that, I'm probably not gonna be available for like a month.
yeah, I know you've got a wedding coming up, etc.
Got a wedding.
Yeah, great. Okay, well, let's go for the 19th at 2:30, and I will get that posted, and we'll take a look and see what we need to do on the agenda. But sounds good. Well, thanks, guys, for all your effort and getting involved here. So really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you both for everything you're doing, Chris. You're wearing a lot of hats right now, and I just want to
Yeah.
acknowledge that. So okay,
I'm losing a couple here and there, I must say. It's like,
bet.
you can
you
tell
have
by my
every right
confusion-
to.
my confusion over the last week here, but anyway. So yeah, so if nothing else, could we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved that we adjourn.
All right,
Second.
all right, all in favor?
Bye.
All right. Adjourned at 3:53, so we were basically.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye, everybody.
you.
Thanks very much.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.